FOG Andrew here from the Family of Gamers. Welcome, Wargamers, to an exciting, awesome video. Alright, so this is going to be a part of a new kind of series thing called Christmas in July. So essentially, I have a wish list of some things that I want for a certain game, and we're going to talk about that stuff, and it's just, it's July, Christmas in July, let's do it. Hopefully Catan Studio can make these things come true and make my Christmas list come true for this game we're talking about, which is Catan. Now, Catan is one of my favorite games, Coach's favorite games, Ryan's favorite games. All my friends have been getting into Catan, so we've been playing Catan a lot, and I've been picking up some of the other expansions and also playing a lot of Catan lately with, like, adding different expansions and getting my friends into it. So we've been playing a lot of Catan recently. So this is my top five or things that I want to see in Catan, my wish list for Catan, and yeah, and this is also in no particular order as well. So we're gonna get right into it with number 5, and that is that I want a Catan Legacy box. Okay, a lot of games have legacy boxes. You have Risk Legacy, you have Ticket to Ride and Pandemic Legacy. You have all of these games that have legacy boxes. Where is the Catan one? I want me a Catan Legacy box. Now, we do have campaign boxes like Legend of the Conquerors, Legend of the Sea Robbers, but I want a true legacy box because I think that would just be very, very cool, and something also very different because, you have something like Ticket to Ride, you have a small area on the map, and then you kind of expand onto that. You have Pandemic, same kind of thing. You have to, like, rip cards in half and go through it. I think that would be a very interesting and fun thing to do. I'm surprised Catan hasn't done that yet. And I haven't also really played many Legacy games either. I really want to play Pandemic Legacy, Ticket to Ride Legacy. That one I'm not too crazy about. Ticket to Ride is a fun game, but, I'm not as big into it as Catan. But I definitely want a Catan Legacy box. Whatever they do or can come up with, I'm sure it'll be great. But that's just a little bit of speculation of what they might do. But number 4 is something that I really, really want them to do, and that is to do more of these $20 folder expansions, as I call it. So we got 2 last year. We have Hawaii and Soccer Fever. So 2, like, these small folder expansions. Again, they're only $20 each. The Soccer Fever adds that, like, soccer pitches, and you can play soccer, and basically every time someone builds a settlement or a city, a soccer match goes off, and then that can give you resources, development cards, stuff like that. And this one here is strictly for base Catan. Now, the Hawaii one here, which adds an entire Hawaii map that you settle on and also fish, you also need seafarers in it. So, like, it's a little... The Hawaii one is very limited, but I will say that the Hawaii one is probably one of my favorite expansions that they've done. So, that being said, I really, really want them to do another of one of these folder expansions. I know a lot of people were complaining that the Hawaii one, it's like a paper map, but you're paying $20 for it, so, like, what are they gonna... If they had, like, a whole... board that was like Dawn of Humankind, like an actual cardboard board or like a hard stock board or whatever, I think it would be a little bit more expensive. And for $20 to get a paper mat and then have a really fun time playing the Hawaii map, I really enjoyed it. They could even do other states. I know they have some other things, but I think doing like this style of $20 cheap expansions, we could maybe settle New York. I think that would be cool, or even other smaller countries or other states or different things like that. I think that would be very cool and very interesting. But you know, only time will tell with that. I'm hoping that they do more of these, because they're also, again, 20 bucks. They're inexpensive, and the Soccer Fever one, you know, you don't even need Seafarers to play that one. Although Hawaii, you do need Seafarers, but, you know, if you have Catan, more than likely, you're either getting Seafarers or you have it already. But that being said, number 3, I want to talk about something interesting. So we have here Legend of the Conquerors, which is like the campaign, not legacy campaign, but just like a regular campaign kind of style scenario box for specifically Cities and Knights. So we have Legend of the Conquerors, and then we also have Legend of the Sea Robbers. My question is, when are we getting one for Traders and Barbarians here? Now, Traders and Barbarians is not one of my favorite expansions, but although I do very much enjoy Traders and Barbarians, I think doing like Legend of the Barbarians or Legend of the Traders or something would be a little tough, because you have Seafarers and Cities and Knights, which aren't really like, they're expansions that basically have one new game mode inserted into Catan. With Traders and Barbarians, you have 5. So it would be a little tough to do a legacy campaign for, not a legacy campaign, just a campaign box for Traders and Barbarians. But, I mean, I think they could maybe pull it off. I think that would be cool. I mean, I think Traders and Barbarians needs a little bit more love, because, you know, I don't really see a lot of people talk about Traders and Barbarians, but I could be wrong on that. Don't get mad at me. I do like Traders and Barbarians, but when are we getting a campaign box for this? Again, we had Legend of the Sea Robbers and we had Cities and Knights. I know it would probably be a little tough. Maybe they can do something where the first campaign you like, it combines Fishermen and Catan and Rivers of Catan, and then the next one will combine this and this, and then the next one will combine this and this, but also while adding more things. Because Legend of the Conquerors, although it is a Cities and Knights based kind of thing, it takes out some things from Cities and Knights and puts in a lot of things added. So I would love to definitely see that for Traders and Barbarians. So and again, you know, if you guys have any ideas, let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys think. The next thing I want to talk about is I want more small box expansions for Catan. So recently, my sister picked up Crop Trust, the Catan scenario, on Amazon for like $22, which I think is a pretty good deal. You get some interesting stuff in here, and the gameplay is also interesting as well, where you have to kind of preserve the food and regrow food on Catan, or else you can't grow wheat anymore and get the wheat resource. I think that's a very interesting kind of thing, and of course it's based off of the Crop Trust organization and all that stuff, and the you know, the seed vault in Norway and all that. And don't get this confused, it is a blue box, but this is strictly for regular Catan, so not for Seafarers there. What I would like to see Catan do possibly is more of these kind of small box scenarios that are strictly only for base Catan, because right now the only ones that you can get that are at least, you know, that you can get like at a reasonable price and retail would be the Helpers and Soccer Fever. Soccer Fever, again, going back to those folder expansions, is kind of, these two kind of go hand in hand. You know, they could do more folder expansions, but then do something just for base Catan, that you don't need Cities and Knights and Seafarers or whatever. You only need base Catan, because I feel like that makes them more accessible. And also, sometimes I just like to play it simple and bust out Catan, regular Catan with my friends, but just add a little bit extra in there. Nothing too crazy, not, you know, Cities and Knights, Seafarers, and Treasures, Dragons, and Adventurers. Nothing, you know, crazy, just a simple, nice game of Catan. And then, you know, let's throw the Helpers in there, or let's throw Soccer Fever in there, or let's throw Crop Trust in there. Very simple kind of, you know, scenarios or little boxes for Catan. I think that would be very interesting. I think that would also be very cool. I think those would be kind of interesting. But the number one thing, and again, these are not in any particular order, but at number one we have I want Catan, but with civilization. So me and Ryan were talking, Ryan and I were talking about Age of Empires recently, and he's obsessed with Age of Empires. He loves Age of Empires, and I've played my fair share of Age of Empires, but I thought it would be kind of cool. I was thinking about it, and I'm like, what if there was Catan, but where you choose a civilization at the beginning of the game, or you get dealt it randomly, and yes, you can like kind of evolve and, you know, expand your civilizations, but each civilization kind of evolves in its own way, or something like that, something to that effect. I think that would be very cool. I think that would be very interesting, and, you know, maybe that would be like a base Catan kind of thing, or maybe they would even just do their own standalone box, like New Energies or Dawn of Humankind. I think that might be cool. I think doing something like that would definitely spice up base Catan, and, you know, not only adding, you know, it's not like, okay, now we're going to combine Catan with Seafarers, with Cities and Knights, with Traders and Barbarians, with this box and that box and this box. Just Catan, then you get the civilizations, and then now we can expand our civilizations. I think something like that would be kind of cool. Don't get me wrong, I love the crunchiness of combining, you know, 4 boxes of Catan expansions into one game. I love it. But sometimes I just want something a little simpler, and I think doing like a civilization box for base Catan would be cool. Or even, you know what, make it crunchy. I don't care. I think that would also be awesome as well. But that is my top 5 things that I want to see, or that is on my Christmas in July wish list for Catan. So, thanks for watching, and let me know down in the comments below what is on your Catan wish list. What do you want to see coming out for Catan in the future? Is there anything specific, or are some of the things I'm saying in this video not making sense to you, or are they making sense to you? Let me know down in the comments below. Also, check out our link tree in the description. It has links to our social media pages, our Patreon page, our Discord server, and our podcast. All that is linked at the link tree below. We appreciate you watching, guys. Subscribe if you're new for more Catan videos coming out in the future, and we'll see you in the next one.